Hey everybody, this is Brandon Scott with the next episode of the Fandom Pastor. Um, Glad you could join me, whether or not it's your first time or your, what is this, 18th time or any time in between. I'm so glad you could join me. Um, if you would, do me a favor, share this video, share it with your friends or any of the other ones, just so we can kind of get the word out about it. I think it'd be fun if I could meet some new people, get some more suggestions on some different ideas, and just get to know people better. So, thank you so much for that. So, we continue our series on the sci-fi show Firefly. So far, we've discussed Mal and Wash and Zoe, and this week we talk about Kaylee. Kaylee's full name is Kaywinet Lee Fry, and she's the mechanic for the ship Serenity. She's played by Jewel State, and like all of the actors, honestly, I don't know of anybody else who could play the role. She just does a wonderful job. Jewel State, who's the actress who plays her, explains that Kaylee's character is wholesome, sweet, and completely genuine in the sweetness. And she also said that Kaylee loves being on that ship. She loves all those people, and she's the only one who loves all of them incredibly genuinely. And as the clue from last week was about this episode, she's also the heart of the ship. She's super cheerful. She's always the one that's kind of upbeat. She's always the one that's kind of very positive. And in fact, there's a clip of that below. Now, as Jewel said, Kaylee loves everybody on the ship. Even Jane, who we'll talk about again, but she has this great relationship with all of them. She loves them. She's loyal as well, especially to Mal, who their relationship is kind of like a brother-sister. It's a great relationship, and of course she has kind of an interesting relationship with Simon as well, and even River. But she's really, really loyal. There's no question that. And loyalty, let's be honest, is a pretty precious commodity. A lot of people say they are loyal, but few really are, especially when the going gets rough. And let's be honest, on Firefly, on the ship Serenity, a lot of times things go sour. They go downhill, and yet Kaylee is always willing to listen to Mal and to trust in all of them. And let's be honest, though, too, loyalty is probably the greatest gift that we can give to be with someone, to give to somebody, is your loyalty to them. And so I think it's really important for us to recognize that. Some relationships can be really challenging because sometimes the only reason we have a loyalty is because we're kind of expected to. So for example, if you are at a job, you're expected to be loyal to the company, and it's only because, for some, the only reason they're loyal to a company is because that's where their pay comes from. So sometimes there's a struggle to be loyal. Now, I think one of the greatest examples biblically, though, that we can look at is Ruth from the Old Testament. Now, Ruth is definitely one of the Bible's most inspiring women. She is very loyal to Naomi, her mother-in-law. Naomi lost her husband and her two sons, including Ruth's husband. But Ruth says to Naomi, "Where you go, I will go. Where you lodge, I will lodge. And your people shall be my people, and your God, my God. And where you die, I will die. And there I will be buried." That is loyalty. I don't think you can get a deeper example of loyalty from a simple human being than that very essence. And she not only said it, though, because a lot of people say words like that, But she actually followed through with it. She was loyal. Nothing shook that basis of that relationship. Loyalty is a precious commodity. Kaylee shows that throughout the entire series. Her level of loyalty to everybody on that ship. Once they are a part of that crew, she's loyal. And again, especially to Mal. There's no question of that. She's so loyal. And, I mean, doesn't mean that there aren't some arguments, some fights, but she's loyal. And I think as followers of Christ, we have to be loyal to God. To not let that foundation shake. It doesn't mean that we don't maybe get upset with God. It doesn't mean that we don't have a conflict. It just means that we're loyal. We're willing to trust God, to be loyal to His leadings, His teachings, His directions, despite what we may think, especially when things go bad. And we're not guaranteed anything perfect in this world. So I ask you to be loyal. Be loyal to God. Be loyal to your friends and your family. Not at the expense of your loyalty to God, but understand that God has put those people in your life for a good reason. So, join me in a couple of weeks as we continue the Firefly series. Like I do every time, I'm going to give you a clue to the next episode. The person we're going to talk about next is the person least likely to not only have a statue made of them, but also a song written about them, and yet they have exactly that. Thanks, and God bless.